With the final card of 2023 UFC 296 wrapping up and the end of the year upon us, I wanted to take a look back at all the special moments that the UFC gave us in 2023. You know, like Robbie Lawler's retirement appreciation video, the return of the GOAT Jon Jones, and The Ultimate Fighter. Or how about the debut of Power Slap, main evented by Dana White himself? Dude hit his wife with the old billionaire pimp slap. Before we get into this, these are, in my opinion, my top moments. Let me know yours in the comments below. With that being said, let's take a look at UFC 2023. Starting off the year, gonna show some love to old man Glover. Although he got beat by Hill, he went out like the dog fighter the dude has always been. His face was mangled and leaking, but he went out on his shield. Respect to Glover and thanks for the memories. The first big moment was Volko going up for that double champ status. One of the best fights of the year, Islam would retain the belt after him and Alex went to war for 5 rounds. The fight had some good exchanges on the feet, elite scrambles, and ended with both guys gaining more credit to their name. Although Islam won the fight over the 5 rounds, Alex had a strong push in the final round where he knocked down Islam and was just unloading on him until the final bell. Post-fight, Alex remained pound for pound number 1, and Islam got the W on his record and was still the lightweight champion. Looking back at it, if you score it round by round, yes, Islam did win the fight, but Alex was the people's champion. After that, the next biggest moment was none other than the return of the GOAT, Jon Jones. After over 3 years out the game, Jon Jones moved up to heavyweight to take on Ciryl Gane for the belt. The belt was vacated after Ngannou ran from the UFC and went to boxing. Jones ended up running right through Gane and submitting him in the first round. Jones proved without a doubt he's the MMA GOAT. Even if you're the biggest hater, you cannot deny this. Throw all the shots you want at him. The steroids, the drugs, the criminal activities. When it comes to fighting and his accomplishments, it's just undeniable. Jon Jones, GOAT.
Last thing.
Up next would be the comeback from Izzy at UFC 287. After getting TKO'd and beaten by Alex for the 3rd time, Izzy lost his middleweight belt to Alex Pereira at UFC 281 in November of 2022. Alex only had 3 UFC fights by that point, so winning the belt was wild. A lot of people thought the title shot was rushed, but the storyline between the two guys was just so good. It was honestly a rushed title shot I didn't even mind. Alex had 2 wins over Adesanya in kickboxing, even KOing the guy in their last fight. Plus, Alex KO'd, like clean KO'd, Sean Strickland before the middleweight title shot, which would age like fine wine seeing as Strickland would become champ later in the year, but more on that later. After Alex TKO'd Izzy to win the belt, fast forward 5 months to UFC 287, Izzy would be getting an immediate title rematch against Alex. Alex had just TKO'd Adesanya, stole his belt, and had now beaten Adesanya a total of 3 times. Dude is the ultimate villain. But somehow, Israel would overcome all that and manage to knock Pereira out cold in the 2nd round. Like, I'm talking when you eat too much snow cone too fast, brain freeze cold. Izzy proceeded to then mock Alex arrow emote and then emo on Alex crying kid who just watched his dad die in the octagon. Hell yeah, dude. Honestly, Izzy kinda got lucky. He was getting outplayed on the feet in the 2nd fight. He was getting backed up and Alex's monstrous power was just keeping Izzy shook. If Alex didn't overstep and played it a little calmer, he would have KO'd Izzy again. But I'm hoping for a 5th and final fight between the two guys to settle it all. But only time will tell. Next up was the almighty return of Triple C. Psych. Dude came back after 3 years, got his ass beat by Aljo, and just immediately went back into retirement. Gonna quickly show some love to the females out there. The women's MMA GOAT Amanda Nunes retired after beating up the final trash can, Irene Aldana. She straight up cleaned out 2 divisions. Also, Shevchenko lost twice to Grasso, so this might also be the beginning of the end for Valentina. But she still looked good in her performance, and the 2nd loss was controversial. Time will tell, but women need to step up their game. Been very lackluster lately. Except Zhang Weili, she's cool. Then we had the semifinals and finals of The Ultimate Fighter in the summer. It was Michael Chandler going up against Conor McGregor. The show was alright, but where's the final fight? It was supposed to be the UFC's final card of the year, but that was main evented by Leon versus Colby. By this point, everyone knows about McGregor's liability, and I know the fight probably isn't even going to happen. But Michael Chandler still hasn't given up hope. God bless his soul. He's been coming out every couple times a month trying to stir up the pot and talk some trash about McGregor. I don't blame him though. Who wouldn't want that McGregor payday? Hell, I'll even get in the octagon and get my ass beat for a couple $100K too. Plus, McGregor's skill level isn't that good nowadays, so most top 10 guys can beat him. We can't talk about the top moments of 2023 without that return of the BMF title. I don't mind the belt. I get it though, it's a little gimmicky, but it's worth more than those dumbass interim belts the UFC gives out. Those things should just be tossed in the trash. More importantly was that Justin Gaethje head kick KO of Dustin Poirier. That was out of nowhere. When does Justin throw head kicks? And to knock out that iron chin of Dustin might be the beginning of the end for Dustin's career. Finally ending Aljo's run would be Sean O'Malley with a second round TKO. Sean showed some good takedown defense and then that precision he's known for. Bantamweight is stacked though, so it's going to be tough for Sean to go on a run. I think there's going to be a lot of shakeups in that division. We got Sandhagen, who's due for a title shot, Merab, Yan, Cejudo, Yadong, Figgy, Umar. Division is deep. Another top moment was the final fight of the Korean Zombie. Always been a fan favorite, and losing to Holloway for his final fight was a solid way to go out. Shout out to the crowd for showing respect and giving him a legendary retirement walkout. Then we had the massive upset when Sean beat Izzy. Dude absolutely ran through Adesanya after being a 7-1 underdog. After that Pereira KO, everyone thought Israel would just sleep and outclass Strickland, which made sense. The transitive property, my people. Alex beat Sean, Israel beat Alex, so that means Israel beats Sean, right? But MMA math never checks out. Sean trashed Izzy in the press conferences with the whole dog situation, which Israel, you're weird for that. In the first round of the fight, Sean damn near flatlined Adesanya after clipping him and landing some heavy shots as Israel was chicken legging all over the place. From then on, Adesanya was just scared, backpedaling while Sean pushed forward with the almighty Philly shell. He ended up beating Izzy by decision and winning the middleweight belt. God bless America. Then we had the big Dubai card, which was supposed to be headlined by Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira too, but Charles pulled out and Volko jumped in on 11 days notice. Islam is not a guy you can beat on short notice, and that showed via head kick KO win for Islam. Nobody was expecting Volk to get knocked out like that. He had that iron chin, and of all people, the grappling heavy Islam KO'd him. Volko risked everything going in on short notice and paid for it badly. Islam took Volko's pound for pound #1 spot and ended all the controversy after the first fight the two had earlier in the year. Islam now has 2 wins over Volko, with the second one being a KO. It'll be hard to justify a third fight, and that's if Volko can keep that featherweight belt. He's that magical 35 years of age where fighters start to normally decline, and he may have just lost his chin. His next fight is against the heavy-handed Ilya, so that'll be a good test to see if Volk still got it. Even if he wins, I'd like to see him stay in featherweight for a bit though. I get it, the division is basically cleaned out. Maybe another Holloway fight. I don't know, the division's in a weird spot. Kamaru Usman also went in on short notice to fight Khamzat, which turned out to be a banger fight. Both guys look good at middleweight, and Khamzat edged out the victory. He dominated the first round, out-grappling Usman, but then his cardio was just lacking. Khamzat slowed down throughout the fight, and Usman showed he still got it. It was later revealed that Khamzat broke his hand in the first. Usman back to welterweight, and Khamzat fights one more time for a title shot. A Whitaker, Cannonier, Vettori, anyone inside the top 10. Finally, we had the last 2 cards, UFC 295 and 296. 295 saw Alex Pereira getting a title shot in just his 7th UFC fight after he moved up to light heavyweight and beat Jan Blachowicz. He'd face Yuri for the belt, who was returning after a shoulder injury. Alex immediately took out Yuri's lead leg with kicks, and that led to Yuri rushing a bit and ultimately getting knocked out. Alex is just so damn strong, I don't think anyone can just stand and bang with him. His weakness is his grappling, but he hasn't faced a grappling heavy guy yet. He honestly has a good shot to become a 3-division champion. I made a video about that if you want to check it out. Tom Aspinall also KO'd Pavlovich, which was surprising. I thought Tom was going to win, but not by KO. Pavlovich was on a 6-fight KO streak and the KO threat, but at heavyweight, everyone has that power. That interim belt Aspinall has is as good as Dustin Poirier's hot sauce. Straight ass. To end the year off, we had Colby versus Leon. Colby looked horrendous and Leon just cruised to a victory. I've been getting a lot of hate for calling Leon average. I get it, the guy is accurate, but that performance just wasn't it. I don't think his grappling and skills are as good as everyone makes them out to be. If he can defend the title and beat a Shavkat or Bilal convincingly, then I'll switch my stance. But for now, my money's on the other guys. More importantly, Sean Strickland and DDP got into a fight in the crowd at 296. Dana seated them next to each other on purpose, which leads me to believe he wanted this to happen for some extra promo footage. Well played, Uncle Dana. Well played.